Wow. One thing you have to admit is that NPP, we have a lot of beautiful women. Minister for Communications and Digitalization, Deputy Minister for Finance, Honorable John Kumar. And then we have our own His Excellency Papa Oswa Kumar, High Commissioner. His Excellency, former Ambassador to India, and also current CEO of the Free Zones Authority, Honorable Mike Okoye-Jimmy. Honorable Sheila Patel, MP for Club Abedumano, DC Fufole Bamboy, CEOs and Deputy CEOs, National Executives, Chairman of NPP UK, Wafa K, as we call him. Our Chairman of the Council of All Elders, Nana Bidu Kaichuri, Achiko Tukusupa in the first. Our indefatigable women's organizer for the UK, Dachshund, who is here with your fellow women organizers from other overseas branches, executives of the UK branch, and executives of the branches across the different countries, and executives of the different chapters. Our Deputy UK High Commissioner, Honorable Richard Temi, EDV Excellence. Party executives from various branches and chapters, as I said, fellow crocodiles, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank the NPP UK, particularly the women's wing, led by the hardworking and energetic women's organizer, Patricia Ebuachi, for organizing this conference and for inviting me to be the guest of honor and the keynote speaker. As you are aware, I have been in the UK for the past few days to attend, on one hand, the third Ghana Investments Opportunity Summit, jointly organized by the Ghana Investments Promotion Center and the Ghana High Commission in the UK, on the one hand, and as co-chair of the 8th UK-Ghana Business Council meeting. These are important meetings that have produced significant deliverables in the past. For instance, it is through the UK-Ghana Business Council meetings that we are seeing the construction of the Kumasi International Airport, the Tamale Airport Terminal, the Benjamin Interchange Phase 2, and the Kejetia Market Phase 2, and many other projects. I also had the opportunity on the sidelines of these meetings to hold a meeting between Ghana and UK auto investors to chart a course for enhanced investments in the auto industry in Ghana, and launched the Ghana-UK Investor Group. I am confident that these engagements have significant, consequential, mutual benefits for Ghana and the UK. These events have come at a time when Ghana is gradually working her way back after the economic challenges that we, like other countries, have been through recently. Fellow patriots, as we gather like this in our colorful white and red and blue dresses and paraphernalia, one thing occupies our mind: how to position the party in a manner that engenders hope, trust and confidence, both in ourselves and the larger Ghanaian community. 7 years ago, we were given a mandate to oversee the governance of our country, Ghana, through a resounding victory. 4 years later, the mandate was renewed. As has been the mantra of most of us, we seek to do what has not happened in our country before by breaking the 8-year cycle of democratic political movement. We are very much convinced and determined that we will be able to do this by the grace of God, because of our performance. In this address today, fellow crocodiles, I shall walk you through some of the key milestones we have been able to deliver as a government, unprecedented in many regards in the history of Ghana, while recognizing at the same time that there is still room for more to be done. We have not had it all rosy, and we have not delivered everything that we set out to do from our day of initiation into office. But the setbacks that we have experienced notwithstanding, we have produced a solid track record of achievements. As those of you in the UK, Europe, Canada, and so on are keenly aware, in the last couple of years, the whole world has been hit mainly by two major external forces, and Ghana has been no exception. The COVID-19 pandemic affected global supply chains, and the response of governments, including our government, put a burden on public finances. The war subsequently between Russia and Ukraine hit fertilizer and grain prices, among others, and increased the prices of commodities back home. Inflation, exchange rate depreciation, and debt levels globally hit a 40-year high as countries scrambled to cope with the impact of these events on lives and livelihoods. In Ghana, inflation increased from 12.9% at the end of 2021 to 54% by end of 2022. Within 1 year, from 12.9 to 54%. Very abnormal. With the attendant depreciation of the Citi by 30% in 2022. These crises, that is COVID and the Russia-Ukraine war, came at a time when we were yet to fully recover from the major challenges we inherited. In particular, we inherited excess energy capacity payments resulting from power purchase agreements entered into by the previous government. I said last year, and the World Bank has also recently pointed out the reckless nature and the catastrophic implications of these contracts. Under the power purchase agreements that the previous government entered into, we have been required to pay some $1 billion annually for power we did not consume. $1 $1 billion every year for power we did not consume over the last 6 years. That is a bill of $6 billion for power we did not consume. The combined effects of these phenomena blighted an economy that grew at an average of 7% between 2017 and 2019. Our debt therefore became unsustainable, and the government had to undertake a domestic debt restructuring program and seek also IMF support to stabilize our economy. These developments have been latched on by our political opponents in an attempt to play down the achievements of our government in the last 6 years. There has been so much talk from politicians and commentators alike. It is said that politicians have the habit of talking a lot, but they hardly talk about what they have done. It is actually better to judge politicians not by what they say, but by what they have done to solve our problems when given the opportunity to serve. So, fellow crocodiles, in this regard, what problems have the NPP government solved or tackled since coming into office? Today, I intend to shed some light on this. Before this, however, let us remind ourselves about the state of the economy we inherited in 2017. Unemployment was very high. We had doomed for 4 years. A virtually collapsed national health insurance system. A nearly collapsed national ambulance system. There was a freeze on public sector employment, an almost collapsed banking sector. There was massive annual increases in utility prices, high depreciation of the currency, poor road infrastructure, persistent negative trade balance over 3 decades, massive low agricultural growth, low industry growth, cancellation of teacher training allowances, cancellation of nurses training allowances. There was a 3-month pay policy for teachers who worked 3 years and were paid only 3 months. Many children unable to attend senior high school because of the financial burden. The bureaucracy and corruption in the delivery of public services at the ports, DVLA, passport offices, GRA, and so on. There was limited financial inclusion. We had no functioning address system, no unique national identity system. We're saddled with $1 billion per year in excess capacity payments as a result of PPAs, major revenue leakages at the electricity company of Ghana, no development technical for the Zobo community's income. The difficulty in obtaining is always important to address. So when we look at the data and the evidence, how have we tackled many of these problems and new ones since we came into office? When you look at our economic growth, you will see that between 2013 and 2016, under the NDC, the average economic growth was 3.9%. When we came in between 2017 and 2019, that is before COVID and Ukraine, the average growth was 7%. And then COVID came in, and of course, we had a major decline in growth, as you know, from 2020, 2021. But even with COVID and Ukraine, between 2017 and 2022, the average growth in Ghana, GDP growth, is 4.9%. Even with 2013 to 2016, the average growth without COVID, without Russia and Ukraine, was 3.9%. For us, with COVID, with Russia and Ukraine, and all the challenges, is 4.9%. So, notwithstanding the global economic crisis, economic growth under our government is stronger than what we inherit. At the Ghana Atomic Energy Commission facility, you need this for industrialization. You look at number 5, bank lending rates. When we came into office, the average bank lending rate between 2013 and 2016 was 28%. High bank lending rate. With COVID, with all the economic challenges we have, the average bank lending rate between 2017 and 2022 is 24%, lower than what we inherited. Then you have the trade balance, the difference between our exports and our imports. We had a negative trade balance for almost 30 years in Ghana. But since we came into office, we've had a positive trade balance for 6 years in a row, consecutive years. 30 years of negative trade balance and 6 years of positive trade balance. And this is the first time this has happened in 30 years. Even when you look at the massive exchange rate depreciation that has taken place, you look at the span whether the ABC was in office between 2008 and 2016, the Citi depreciated by 72%, and they did not face the crisis that we face globally. And when you look at the depreciation of the Citi, including the crisis, that we saw last year, under the ABC, it was 72%. For us, it is 62%. That's fine. And the Citi is 30%. So notwithstanding all these challenges, the depreciation of the Citi is currently lower than what we inherited when we came into office. When we brought a new policy, number 8, we brought a new policy. We said that the reserves of the country needed to be increased by the purchase of more gold by the Bank of Ghana. We had a gold purchase policy that we brought in because gold in our reserves was very small. And we began, the Bank of Ghana has implemented a gold purchase program, and this is on the increase. And Ghana's foreign exchange reserves, the Bank of Ghana has increased its gold reserves by 75% since 2021, once we began this policy. From independence to 2021, our gold was 8 tons. 8. One of the world's largest producers of gold. But since we began this program, we have increased from 8 tons, which we accumulated over 65 years. 8 tons. But in the last year, we have increased it from 8 tons to 14 tons. That is a major increase. Number 9, we faced a constant pressure. Last year you saw it, and we have been facing this pressure over the years on our dollar reserves to finance imports. So what did we do? We implemented a gold for oil policy to buy gold using cedis and pay for oil imports using gold or the proceeds from gold. The policy has introduced more competition, and we have abolished, therefore, the use of foreign exchange rates in fuel prices. And this has resulted in a reduced fuel prices and transport fares and reduced the demand for foreign exchange, and has enhanced foreign exchange stability, exchange rate stability. Number 10, we had no industrial policy to encourage the setting up of factories. And we therefore, as a government, implemented a one district, one factory initiative. And since its inception, we have set up and operationalized 143 companies. This is through the private sector, and they are under operation. And 126 are at different stages of completion. 11. We have no domestic automotive sector for vehicle assembly or manufacturing. And what did we do about that? The new automotive sector development policy has resulted in VW, Sinotruk, Katanka Group, Toyota, Peugeot, Nissan, Kia, Hyundai. They are all producing in Ghana today. And one interesting piece of news is that a Ghanaian company is also in the pipeline, is on course to build an assembly plant for electric vehicles next year. That will be the first in West Africa. That will be the first in West Africa. 12. We have limited processing of cocoa in Ghana, and we made it a point to increase the processing of cocoa. And I'm happy to say that we have increased the amount of cocoa that is processed from 20%, which we inherited, to 40% today. Then we realized also that one of the issues that we had to deal with was that Ghana was not maximizing its tourism potential. And what did we do? We implemented the flagship policies of the Year of Return, Beyond the Return, and the December Music Festivals that has made Ghana a global destination for Black diaspora and other tourists in Ghana. And therefore you are seeing increased tourism because of what we have done. Then you have another problem that we have to deal with. COVID-19 exposed Ghana's vulnerability as a result of the lack of local vaccine manufacturing capacity. You all saw the problem that came. And what did we do? What have we done about that? A National Vaccine Institute has been commissioned, and a vaccine manufacturing plant is being established to manufacture 600 million doses of vaccines annually for COVID-19, malaria, tuberculosis, and other vaccines. And production will begin next year. In addition to this vaccine manufacturing plant, Ghana will also start the production of anti-snake venom serum later this year, September this year. And just for good measure, Ghana is the first country, was the first country in the world to approve the new R21 malaria vaccine for children between the ages of 5 months and 36. We're the first country in the world to approve it. Then when we look, as far as the economy is concerned, whatever you do must impact on jobs. How many jobs have you created? All of what has happened. How many jobs do we need? Because unemployment was a big problem. I'm happy to see that the data, and I mean hard data, shows that in the last 6 years, we have created 2.1 million jobs. 2.1 million jobs. We have recruited nurses. Even under COVID, we had to do special 54,000 nurses recruited doctors and other healthcare workers, teachers, police officers, and many in the public sector. The public sector alone, in the last 6 years, we recruited 1.2 million people. Public sector. The Citi data shows that in the private sector, we recruited 975,000 The two makes 2.1 million. The records, ladies and gentlemen, that are available show that notwithstanding the challenges, our government has created more jobs than any other government since the fourth republic. There's no other government that has created as many jobs as we have done. And if they believe they have, they should show us the data. Then, so I've just talked about the macro economy. I now move to digitalization. And what we have been able to do with digitalization. There was a problem, as you all know. President Kufuor started the national ID card, passed the law, and then left office. The NDC didn't take it forward, and we had a problem. No unique identity. And we have come in, and we have issued the national ID card. We haven't completed. About 17 million people have been enrolled, and we intend to finish this year. It's a major matter for us. Access to student loans, number 17, were limited for many students because of the inability to obtain guarantors to sign for the student loans. Many students could not attend tertiary institutions because of that. And what did we do? We implemented a no guarantor student loan policy. And once you have your guarantor, that is the guarantor for you. You don't need any other guarantor. And then that is working now. Number 18, we had no functional national addresses. You had to find places by the Google seller or the blue kiosk or the lady on the selling Kinewi on the right or something. We had no functional national addresses. So what did we do? We have implemented a digital property address system in Ghana, one of the few countries in the world with a digital property address system. And there's no more need to use the landmarks that I've just talked about. And that has really changed the country today. We have a digital property address system. Then we went to address another problem. There was an inability to send mobile money between one telco and another. You couldn't send money between Vodafone and MT, or between MT and Citi. It wasn't possible. But we implemented mobile money interoperability, which now allows that to happen, for you to be able to transfer money to customers from another telco. We also have an inability to send money between bank accounts and mobile money accounts. We have implemented the interoperability, which allows the transfer of funds between bank accounts and mobile ones. Indeed, today, you can even move funds from London to someone in my village on their mobile phone. They don't have to go to a bank. They don't have to go to a bank. You remember the old days? You had to go to Western Union and queue. Isn't it? Yes, and queue. And even bribe somebody there to make you from, So that problem has been solved. Number 21. Majority of adults did not have a bank account. And many people face difficulties in opening a bank account because of literacy, looking for referees, and so on. But as a result of mobile money interoperability, the vast majority of adult Ghanaians now practically have a bank account. To open a bank account today, because why do I say practically? Because the mobile money account is as good as a bank account. You can even earn interest on your mobile money account. You can move money from your mobile money account to your bank account and vice versa. So it works just like the bank account. And to open a bank account today, all you need is a Ghana card and a mobile phone. You don't really need to go and fill forms anymore. You just get a USSD code for the bank, dial that code, they'll ask for your Ghana card number, you put it in, end of story, your bank account is open for you, and you're off you go. So, today if you are in Ghana and you don't have a bank account, it's because you don't want one. But we have put in the vehicle for everybody to have a bank account. And that has made Ghana the #1 country in Africa as far as financial access to financial inclusion is concerned. We are #1 in the whole of Africa. And what we have done with mobile money interoperability, we're the first in Africa to do so, and I'm yet to find another country that has been able to do so. We implemented to reduce cash dominance in the economy. We also implemented Africa's first universal QR code payment system. And this is very interesting because the banks, the telcos, and the fintechs are all on the same platform. And so you can have a QR code payment system, pay with a QR code. You don't need a point of sale device to do the transaction. Just a QR code and the money will go directly into the seller's account. And that system is operational in Ghana. We also had, number 23, a difficulty people had in renewing their national health insurance cards. Many people will go and sleep outside the NHI offices just to renew the national health insurance card. There were long queues and so on. Today, we have made it very easy because of digitalization for people to sit in the comfort of their home and renew their national health insurance card within a few minutes and pay for it online. People also had difficulty and inconvenience in enrolling onto the national health insurance. Again, we've had the introduction of the My NHIS app, and so you can sit at home and enroll onto national health insurance, pay for it, and then you move on. You don't have to go and do that. So you have a lot of convenience. Today, people had problems, even charging their electricity, buying electricity credit. And if you are unlucky and your credit finishes at night, in the middle of the night, you won't know how to go. You have to wait till ECG office opens before you go and queue and get it. And we said, no, you don't need to do this. You can digitalize the process. And so today, if your electricity goes off, you can charge everything on your mobile phone and you put it there. One of the things about digitalization that many people underestimate is how much transparency it brings and how much we can save money and stop leakages. Thanks to a lot of work by the MD and the board of ECG, we collaborated with them from my office. We sent in a team to look at their collections, and what has happened. We have seen a major plugging of leakages at ECG because there was theft taking place there. And I don't mean small theft, I mean gargantuan theft that was taking place over there. Before we sent in the team, listen to this because I don't think anybody is aware of this statistic. Before we sent in the team, and why did I pick on ECG to push? Because when I looked at the data, their monthly taking for almost 4 years was almost constant. Nothing was changing, even though more people were coming on the system. They were virtually constant. I said there must be something wrong. So let's look at the team. Anyway, the team went to cut a long story short and digitalize the process with a lot of problems. We even had to get national security to go in to push the process to make sure it happened. But we have been able to move ECG monthly collections from 450 million cedis to over 1 billion cedis. And we are talking of just from 450 million to over 1 billion. One entity. And so when we talk about digitalization, some people don't understand how it relates to the economy. But they will give them time to them. We'll give them time to them. Then you have a problem we inherited, number 27. We had a lot of bureaucracy and corruption in just obtaining a passport. We've introduced an online passport application process, and it's helping many people and making it easier to obtain a passport. What is interesting is that in the passport office, because we've digitized the process, they've seen a major increase in revenue. Before digitalization, they were getting 1 million cedis a year. Since digitalization, it's 56 million cedis a year. Just one place, 56 million cedis a year. Then we went and we had major problems at the port, as you remember. Major problems clearing goods at the port. And we digitalized the process of clearing goods at the port, and we've introduced efficiency. We had the same problem of people applying for scholarships. They had to come from their villages to Accra. And today, we have digitalized the process. You can apply online and be interviewed in your district and be given your scholarship. We had a problem of fake insurance certificates. Fake insurance certificates, making it difficult in checking the validity of insurance. So we introduced the motor insurance database. And with the motor insurance database, any police officer or any person in the public, you dial a USSD code, put in the vehicle number, and it will tell you whether the vehicle is insured or not. So you cannot have fake insurance certificates in Ghana now. That one is gone. So before you board a vehicle, you can even put in the USSD code to make sure the vehicle is insured before you enter that vehicle. Then we have the bureaucracy and the difficulty in obtaining a driver's license. Now we have digitalized the process and the operations of the DVLA, and today citizens have a much more convenient and easy process in acquiring their driver's licenses. I know for those of you who have gone to Ghana with UK driver's licenses, you can easily obtain a Ghana driver's license. The experience is first class. I tell you, the experience is better than what you get in the UK. It's quite better. And you will see that there's been a major increase in revenue also at the TVLA. Before digitalization, they were earning on average of 71 million a year, and it has increased to 168 million a year. From 71 million. And so you are seeing that. Now, another problem we have addressed, the difficulty in finding pharmacies which stock prescribed medications, the prices of those medications, and avoiding fake drugs. For the first time in our history, Ghana has implemented the first national-scale e-pharmacy platform in Africa. All the major pharmacies in Ghana are part of this e-pharmacy platform. We've done a pilot and it is over, and so from now on we are moving full scale as far as implementation is concerned. But when you get your prescription, you can upload it on the platform, and it will tell you within a 10-kilometer radius which pharmacies have the medicine. And then it will tell you what the prices of those medicines are. You can order the medicine, they can deliver it at home for you, and you don't have to go to the pharmacy. We are the first country in Africa to have this national scale e-pharmacy platform. In our senior high schools, as we try to move into the digital age, we had a problem. No Wi-Fi access. in our senior high school. So we have provided for almost 700 senior high schools free Wi-Fi in Ghana for the senior high school students to do that. And not only the senior high schools, we've done it for the 46 colleges of education, the 200 district education offices, and also 13 public universities, so that they will have. And thanks to Ursula, we have had cyber labs that have been introduced in 702 public schools and 81 communities between 2017 and 2022. Cyber labs that allows our kids and everybody to get access to ICT tools for work. And this is another major thing because there was a lack of cyber labs in our public schools. Then, number 35, we had a difficulty and bureaucracy in accessing government services. So we have developed a one-stop shop for government services, which is the Ghana.gov platform. The process of onboarding all government entities is ongoing. So far, we have onboarded 1,018 government entities on this platform. And it's so easy, therefore, if you are looking for anything from government, you get onto Ghana.gov. If it's GRA, you click. If it's passport, you click and do your transactions online, and you don't have to get any human intervention. When we came into office, only 4% of the adult population had a tax identification number. Only 4%. We said, well, since we've done the Ghana card, let's convert the Ghana card into the tax identification number. We've done that. And so the number of adults in Ghana now with the tax identification number has gone up from 4% to 85% of the population. We solved that problem. There was a difficulty in collection of property taxes, and we have now introduced a unified common property tax platform with a database. Because of the digital addresses, we now have a property address platform. Almost 8 million properties are on the platform. And now we are going to use this as the basis to collect property taxes. It was never the case, but now we are able to do a property tax system. And it's a beautiful system, quite frankly, that we have done. We have the problem of fake birth certificates and the bureaucracy and corruption at the birth and death registry. So what we have done is to digitalize the processes at the birth and death and link their systems with the Ghana Health Service and the NIA for the Ghana card number to be issued. From next month, by the grace of God, next month, because I'm happy to announce, and I've not yet announced this in Ghana, that the integration of the database of the NIA, the Ghana Health Service, and the birth and death registry is complete. So from next month, when a child is born in Ghana, we will issue the Ghana card right. Football clubs were losing a lot of money, so we've even digitalized football tickets. When you're going to football tickets. Number 40, many of you who travel, there was a problem. Landing and leaving Ghana, you have to fill in forms, isn't it? Embarkation and disembarkation cards, the landing cards. We said it doesn't make sense. We have all the data in the system. We don't need anybody to fill any form. We abolished it. So now you don't need to fill any form when you put in and you're leaving Ghana. And when you go to Koduka now, and there used to be 12 processes, 12 steps to exit. We've reduced it from 12 to 4. When you arrive, you will not spend more than 1 minute, 30 seconds at any immigration or at booth. They are very efficient now. particular problem. So we have made it very, very easy. We have integrated many databases because they didn't used to be integrated. SNIT, GRE, NHIA, Passport Office. As a result, the Ghana card number is your SNIT number, it's also your TIN number, it's also your NHIS number, and we are moving forward with it. When we came in, the banking system was almost about to collapse. But we were able to do a banking sector cleanup, and we have rescued the banking system and saved the deposits of 4.6 million Ghanaians at a cost of 25 billion Ghanaians. Many people underestimate what happened here because it happened so seamlessly. People didn't lose their deposits. But it took a lot of work to save the banking system because 4.6 million depositors would have lost their deposits. We've really addressed the rampant corruption in public sector delivery, service delivery, by digitalizing the ports, the DVLA, passports, NHIA, births and deaths, and all of that. ECG, scholarships, auto insurance database. This is one of the ways we attack corruption in the public sector. Another area digitalization has helped is in the cocoa industry. Cocoa beans were not traceable to particular farms, and there was unavailability of data on the cocoa farms and farms. But internationally now, because of issues of child labor and so on, the people want to know these beans. Where are they coming from? What is the source? And what have we done? We have digitalized the process, and the records of all cocoa farms and farmers have been digitalized with unique identities. This means that cocoa beans can be traced to specific farms in Ghana, and Ghana is the first cocoa exporting country to be able to do this in the world. The first cocoa exporter is digitalized. So you take our beans and you can tell that this is the farm that this beans is coming from, and that is very unique. I congratulate the Cocoa Board for what they've been able to do. Then we had a problem of hospitals and clinics not being digitalized, and the network of manual, and we have manual folders being used across departments and hospitals. We are digitalizing the network in all hospitals, and this is underway. Currently, we have completed the digitalization of 147 hospitals, and which includes all the teaching hospitals and all the regional hospitals. So it means that if you move your a patient from Tamale to Kolebo, you no longer need to take a phone. All the data will be accessed at Kolebo. They say from any region to any of these 147 hospitals, there is no need for folder. So the doctors can give you better treatment. They will say, no, they cannot say your folder is missing anymore. Right? It's all there. We expect to hit almost 2,000 hospitals by the end of next year, as far as the digitalization is concerned. One of the things that we are about to launch, because we've completed the work which is being done at the Ministry of Fisheries, because of the difficulties of our fishermen in obtaining premixed fuel, we have completed the process towards the digitalization of the process of obtaining premixed fuel at the landing beaches. And we are about to commission the first 50 digitalized premixed fuel dispensers. It will be launched next month with the goal to cover all the landing beaches by the end of next year. So the fishermen have all been registered and will be given cards, and they will now go and take their premixed fuel. There's no middle person to deal with this matter anymore, and it will really help. There's another issue about the threat to Ghana's banking system and the financial system from cyber attacks. And following the Cybersecurity Information Directive in 2018, the Bank of Ghana has commissioned a world-class financial Industry Command Security Operations Center, and all banks are connected to the center and receive real-time security alerts, intelligence, traffic analysis, and so on. And this is the first of its kind being operated within a central bank in Africa. It's the first of its kind to protect our system from cyber attacks. We also had a problem that there was high cost and inefficiency associated with the manual execution of tasks in the judicial system. Therefore, government launched an e-justice system in 2019, a paperless court system. Cases would be able to be filed electronically, and the progress of such cases can easily be tracked. The platform automatically is designed to assign cases to courts and judges and move away from the manual assignments. Then we have the inadequate vehicle to track progress of government projects. I'm happy to state the government has completed work on an enhanced delivery tracker, digital delivery tracker, which has recently been updated and improved, that allows us to track the progress of any government project that is ongoing across the ministries, departments, and agencies. And this I will launch this next month, and it will be really the first of its kind in our country. So let me leave digitalization for now and move on to roads, infrastructure, airports. When you look at infrastructure, in the road sector, of course, because we inherited a lot of poor roads, what is clear, the data is very clear, is that we have constructed more roads than any other government in the fourth republic. We have constructed the Kumasi Airport, it's 98% complete. Tamale Airport is also constructed, and the Chinyami Airport has also been rehabilitated. We've constructed more interchanges than any other government in the fourth republic, and constructed more railway than any other government in the fourth republic. And when you come to rural telephone, between 20 getting to the rural sites coming in, and this is another brilliant work that has been done by the Ministry of Communications and Digitalization. For rural areas, between 2009 and 2016, 8 years, they had only 78 sites that were installed. Under our government, so far, between 2017 and 2022, 1,008 sites have been installed. A lot are in progress at the moment as well. There's more being done. So 78 versus 1,008. That is a huge, huge difference in terms of access of the poor to cell phones and rural telephone. Then we had the issue of classrooms in the infrastructure space. That data is clear that we've constructed more classrooms at the basic, STEM, and secondary school level than any other government in the fourth republic. Total classrooms, 5,411 that we have put in place since we came in. You look at the senior high school, we've completed 747 structures, including 31 E-blocks. And we are building STEM schools for the first time in our history, and 6 of them are operational at Abomosu, Pasika, Awaso, Tosuke Girls, Accra Senior High School, and so on. Then you come to public libraries. Between independence and when we came into office, Ghana had only 61 public libraries. 61. But since we came into office, we've increased the number of public libraries from 61 to 160. Public libraries. There's an increase of 88% in 60, and this is very, very remarkable. We had weak technical and vocational skills development, so when we came into office, we've upgraded and modernized all the S134 national vocational and technical institutes. We've modernized them with real modern equipment, and currently we are in the process of constructing 32 state-of-the-art TVET centers in the country. Then you have the problem of the burden of fees for many in accessing TVET education. And therefore, government, in solving this problem, we have implemented free TVET education and established the Ghana TVET service, similar to the Ghana Education Service. We have inadequate NCA licensed fiber optic cable. Since we came into office, we've constructed more NCA licensed fiber optic cable than any other government in the Fourth Republic. If you look at NCA licensed fiber optic cable between 2009 and 2016, 488 kilometers. Between 2017 and 2022, 6,758 kilometers. We have inadequate fish landing sites and fishing harbors. We've constructed again more fish landing sites than any other government in the Fourth Republic at Zim, Dixco, Mori, Mumford, Winneba, Tenyamreku, Bomwafete, Teshi, Keta, Osu, Kofi, and Fatima. These are ones that we have constructed. And then we have also completed the Elmina Fishing Harbor. In the health sector, we've completed 10 polyclinics in the Central Region, 5 polyclinics in the Greater Accra Region, rehabilitated Tablet Teaching Hospital Phase 2, completed the required district hospital, completed the University of Ghana Medical Center Phase 2, we've constructed 13 district hospitals and 6 drone delivery centers. And we have an ongoing construction of many hospitals under Agenda 111, comprising 101 district hospitals, 3 psychiatric hospitals, and 7 regional hospitals. This is the largest health infrastructure that we have put in place since independence. In the energy sector, we've constructed several transmission lines, substations, bulk supply points, and we've brought 2,331 communities have been connected to the grid. And what is also good, and many of you maybe have not heard, that Ghana has also started the exploration for oil in the Volcanic Basin, in Northern region and in Savannah region, following very promising seismic data that we have seen. So we are likely going to hit oil in these volcanic basins. And after so long, we started the exploration, and that is going to be very well. In terms of sports facilities, astroturfs, for example, we have constructed the largest number of astroturfs in our history. At the end of 2016, there were not even up to 3 astroturfs in Ghana. Today, we have over 8 and counting. There was no vehicle for development of the Zongos and inner cities, and under the Zongo Development Fund, we established it, and we have over 400 infrastructure projects that have been completed since we came into office under the Zongo Development Fund. The vehicles and equipment were problems in the security services, and we have provided more equipment, vehicles, ammunition, and so on to the security services than any other government in the Fourth Republic. The data is clear. There were inadequate courts and accommodation for our judiciary, and we are constructing 120 courts and 150 bungalows for the judiciary. This is the largest such in the Fourth Republic, and we have completed 80 out of the 120 courts that we have done. There was also the issue of making sure that development was even across the country. So we established 3 development authorities, Northern, Middle Belt, and Coastal. And these development authorities in the last 6 years have completed 1,600 projects across these 3. And that is very, very. Then there was the problem of warehouses. District 1 warehouse came, and we have done that. We had no other achievements we've had, no right to information law, we passed one. Then also the long-term advocacy of the creation of new regions. We created 6 new regions: Oti, Ahafo, Bono East, Savannah, Northeast, and Western North regions. And you are seeing major development taking place in these regions. We were right. The president was right to create these regions. Then there was the problem of persistent examination leakages in the BEC and WACC exams. Then how do we tackle this? We have implemented a policy of serialization of exam papers. And so the person sitting next to you, you may not have the same questions or the order that they are. The serialization of exam papers has eliminated leakages for BEC exam, and the same will be done for the WACC exam. So if they give you a ball, it will be a fee. you will not get anything from it. Then we had the problem of the poor performance of BEC WACC candidates. Poor performance. And in fact, this was a concern because it spoke to the quality of the education. So when we came in, of course, with what we had done, and in fact, people thought that with free SHS, the performance would even go lower. But we have actually improved the performance. If you look at the core 6 subjects, at the end of 2015, the pass rate was 41% for the core 6 subjects. In 2022, the pass rate is 64%. From 41% to 64%. So we have really done a whole lot as far as the improvement in the education is concerned. And this is not only at the WACC level. If you look at the low national proficiency in English language for basic students, when we came into office, the national proficiency score for the English language, right, for basic students was 2%. 2. Now, we have increased it from 2% at the end of 2022 is 38%. But it's still not where we want it to be. But we've come from 2%, the proficiency score of 2% to 38%. Then I want to talk about things that we have done as a government to alleviate the suffering of Ghanaians. But when we were coming into office, we talked a lot, and we know that historically our people have been suffering, and we wanted to implement policies to reduce suffering. So what have we done? If you look at when we came into office, we kept having, before we came, the increases in electricity tariffs were very, very high. Between 2008 and 2016, the average increase in electricity tariff was 41.3%. Right? Since we have come over the last 6 years, we have seen the lowest increase for any 6-year period over the last 30 years. During COVID, and if you exclude the free electricity that we gave during COVID for lifeline users and 50% reduction, then the 43% ours will be 9.2%. We've increased in the last 6 years utility by an average of 9.2% annual compared to the 41.3%. But that excludes the free electricity for 1 year for lifeline and the 50% reduction. That excludes that. So we have reduced the burden on people as far as the suffering of this is concerned. Many WACC students could not pay their examination fees. The parents and registration fees for BEC and WACC have been abolished, and government absorbed that, and that is that. Another area of suffering that we have reduced and not gone back to. We had almost 5 years of doom song. between 4 and 5 years or so. Thanks to what we have done, we have not had any to so it's a very temporary one. Yes. It goes off and then it will come back on again. It's not like Mahamudu so with 4 or 5 years. This one is very temporary. If the lights go off, it's just a matter of a little time before it comes back on. But we've not had that happen. Teacher training allowances were cancelled. We paid, the students were suffering, we restored them. Nursing training allowances were cancelled, we restored them. Scholarships. The access to scholarships, as I said, has been increased, but the quantum of scholarships that we are offering has increased by 70%. 70% increase in scholarships. Then there was a difficulty in access to medicine and blood in remote areas. So we introduced drones in the delivery of critical medicine, vaccines and blood to people in remote parts of the country. And Ghana now has the largest medical drone delivery service in the world, the whole world. And we have 6 distribution centers. There were no pensions for cocoa farmers, and the cocoa farmer pension scheme has now begun, and the implementation has started through a pilot. Childhood cancers were not covered by the NHIS. Today, 4 childhood cancers covering 85% of childhood cancers are now covered by the NHIS. Number 88, hydroxyurea, a very effective drug for sickle cell sufferers, was not covered by the NHIS. It is expensive. But to relieve the suffering of sickle cell sufferers, NHIS now covers hydroxyurea for sickle cell sufferers. Then you look at the problem we face. We didn't inherit it, but we faced the COVID-19 pandemic. Major crisis. But we managed it well. And Ghana has been acknowledged internationally as one of the best countries in the world in the management of COVID-19. Many lives and livelihoods were protected by Abajide Acosta, who is a member of the COVID task force, is rolling his head. We also had a problem of delays in the receipt of state pension. Once you retire, you could take many months to get a state pension. But thanks to the work of Smith and the John Ofori, state pension can now be received within 10 days maximum of application. 10 days, the process is digitalized, you will get your state pension 10 days after application. And it's very simple. Now, you have the limited availability of leave. We've increased access to leave by 53%. The inadequacy of the capitation grant, we've doubled the capitation grant. The burden of utility bills, payment for tertiary institutions, for tertiary students. Government abolished the utility bills for tertiary institutions. The large average, I've talked about it in English, the two-year rent advance demanded by landlords, denying access to rental accommodation to many. We have tackled this problem, introduced the National Rental Assistance Scheme to provide loans to renters. And this is now it's working, and it's very effective. The teachers were being paid 3 months arrears for 2 to 3 years of work. Government has abolished the 3-month arrears policy for teachers and is paying them regularly as we speak. Even the KIA had problems with market tools. We abolished the market tools for KIA. The standard peacekeeping allowances for soldiers, we increased from 30 Ghana cedis to $30 to $35 for the soldiers. The share of the District Assembly Common Fund for persons with disabilities was stuck at 2%, and we have increased it by 50% for persons with disabilities. We had a problem of many communities practicing open defecation. The massive investment we've made in water and sanitation facilities in many rural and deprived communities by the government has resulted in over 5,400 communities being declared open defecation free. In fact, mortality per 1,000 live births has come down from 37.9 in 2016 to 32.6 in 2021, and under 5 mortality per 1,000 live births has also come down from 53 to 44 in 53 in 2016 to 44 in 2021. You also have the situation where we have a large number of students who were unable to access senior high school education because of the burden and no gender parity. Government has implemented free SHs, and that, as a result, the number of students has increased from 800,000 to 1.4 million. And this is a 75% increase in enrollment. But what is even more pleasing about the increase is that before there were more boys than girls in the senior high school, but now we have parity. There are now the same number of boys and girls in the senior high school. And I tell you that even finding mates for the middle class in Accra is very difficult to do. The parents of the girls have come and taken them back, and they are back in school. Even when they go to university and finish, they too will not find mates, because NPP has introduced free senior high school education. Guguru! Ladies and gentlemen, when you look at this whole list of over 100 things that we have done and achieved, one cannot but admit that they are monumental. Therefore, let nobody tell you that we don't have a message for 2024. Let nobody tell you that we don't have a message for 2024. I must hasten to add that this does not mean that we have done everything we intended to do or ought to have done. There is clearly a lot more to do, and we will work hard to do more. As Vice President, I have had the honor and privilege, thanks to the President, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa, to be given the opportunity to initiate or oversee the implementation of many of these problem-solving policy initiatives I have just mentioned. So I've had the privilege to work on the Ghana card, the use of the Ghana card as a tax identification number, a SNID number, a health insurance, digital property address, mobile money interoperability, paperless polls, Ghana.gov, no guarantor student loans, universal QR code payment system, registration or for a renewal of NHIS membership on the phone, one constituency, one ambulance, Agenda 111, digitalization of ECG operations, digitalized passport operations, e-pharmacy, Sino-Hydro-Barter agreement, zipline drones, digitalization of the scholarship secretariat, unified digital common property tax platform, online filing and payment tax, digitalization of the pension-based register, digitalization of the football prevention of hydroxy, unique assistance services, zone development, production authority, that gold payments gold for all things, abolishing the to make these contributions. It is important to note that many of the transformational policy initiatives that we have introduced since 2017 are being done for the first time since independence, and most of them have benefited women. What is interesting is that because many of them have not been done before, many people, shackled by the mindset of impossibility, have argued that they are not possible because they haven't been done before. They said that the drones were going to take pictures of people in their bathrooms. They didn't understand it. When we said that you can travel to Ghana with your Ghana card, they said it was not possible. When we said you can do, we were the first African country to have mobile money interoperability between banks and mobile wallets, they said no. QR code, they said no. Free SHS, they said it wasn't possible. You know, so in that mindset, even Elmina Harbour, they said it was Sakabo. They can't envision anything. They can't envision anything. They are shackled by the mindset of impossibility. But notwithstanding their attempts to poo-poo everything that we have said we were going to do, we stayed the course. We focused and made them possible. We are dealing politically with people with shackled mindsets who always think in terms of things not being possible. When you try to move the country forward with new ideas, they mask their ignorance by mocking, by ridiculing you, and calling you even a lie. But in the process, they only expose their lack of understanding of the issues. My response to them is to stay focused and not get angry, but rather make it happen. That is the best victory you can have over the naysayers. Make what they think is impossible possible. What we have been able to accomplish so far shows that it is possible for Ghana to achieve many things that some believe to be impossible. With what we have done and continue doing in the wake of the global challenges, the outcome thus far points to a very good future. We have been able to stay afloat the stormy global economic developments and keep our lights on without the threat of doomsday. We have been able to ensure all year-round availability of diesel and petrol, and those civil Ghanaians had to queue for these essential products. We never rationed food in our markets as a result of the global challenges, and not a single government flagship social intervention program, be it free SHS, free TVET, school feeding, teacher training, nurse training allowances, and so on, has been truncated. But rather, we have been able to introduce innovative ideas, such as gold for oil policy, to get our exchange rate fairly stable and reduce fuel prices from a litre of at 23 cedis to about 12 cedis today. And we've also seen the beginnings of a reduction in transport fares. Inflation has consequently dropped from 54% to 42% and is estimated to end the year at around 25%. The growth prospects of our economy are high, and we have absolute trust and confidence that our mitigation measures will lead, that these measures that we put in place will lead to a rebound in the economy and make sure higher performances are recorded very soon. It is possible if we put our minds to it. We need to break the shackles of impossibility and embrace the mindset of possibility. Ladies and gentlemen, Kukuru! Ladies and gentlemen, by the grace of God, it is possible for Ghana to become an advanced nation based on systems and data. Data and technology are the new engines of growth. It is possible for Ghana to have food security through the application of technology to commercial farming. It is possible for Ghana to be the hub and the lead in Africa as far as digitalization and innovation is concerned. It is possible to have internet penetration of over 90%. It is possible to maximize the benefits from our natural resources like gold and lithium. It is possible to become an industrialized nation. It is possible to create more jobs for the youth to reduce unemployment. It is possible to empower the local business sector, including startups and SMEs, to drive investment and growth in Ghana. It is possible to stabilize the macroeconomy, have low interest rates, and reduce the cost of living. It is possible to have accessible energy security with renewables. It is possible to eliminate, reduce, or minimize corruption in the public sector. It is possible to have a golden age of investment in the creative arts, tourism, and sports. And it is possible to build an inclusive... Hello. Yes, this is what I told you about the night before I was in the song. Yes, So, ladies and gentlemen, it is possible to build an inclusive education system with a focus on STEM, artificial intelligence, robotics, and skills development. It is possible. It is possible. It is possible. I'd like to thank you all